Now, this video is gonna be more of a long one. It's gonna be a full guide on, attraction and being with girls, how to talk to them, how to pick them up, how to stay with them, how to behave, what to look out for. You know what I'm saying? Like, but first, let me tell you a story. Alright, one time, maybe 1-2 years ago, right, before self-improvement, I would have had no chances of getting a girl, right? None at all. I was overweight, I was playing games all day, I didn't have a chance. I wasn't masculine, I was basically just a woman that was a fat man, you know what I'm saying? Like, basically would have thought I was a girl. I didn't have a trim, it was just like overflowing with hair. Right now I've got a trim, we fixed it up. I don't really care about trims anymore. You don't have to, but at least look presentable, because mine was overgrown. You have to understand. But now, imagine that you're in this scenario. Maybe you are in this scenario. So let me tell you. Imagine where you can just walk around knowing you don't care anymore. You don't care. You don't have to worry about, oh, am I going to be able to get this goal or not? Am I gonna never have a go? If you do the right things, and you do everything right, and you do your research, do your work, get your experience, you're not gonna have to ever worry. You're gonna think, in the future, imagine this, literally imagine you in the future, and you don't even have to ever worry about this girl losing attraction, or what do I do when my girl does this, If you watch this guide, your girl's gonna do something, you're gonna go, I know what to do. I know what to do, because I was told what to do. I know what this is, When she tests you, oh, I know this is a test. Oh, I know this is a test. Or when you're trying to code a bridge, you'll know what to say, or how to act out in public, or how to act around the girls differently to the guys, stuff like this. You'll know all of this in the future. You might not know it now, you might think you're hopeless, but imagine, literally, hold on, look, 2 years ago, that was me 2 years ago, right? 2 years. And so if you're thinking that it's hopeless, you're special, you're the outlier, and you can't get anyone ever, then just know that once you watch this guide, and once you get in the gym, learn how to speak properly, learn how to act, then you're not gonna have to worry about none of that. Alright? Because if that's what you're if that's what you're thinking, oh, I could never do that. It's only people who are genetically gifted. That's rude to yourself. That's rude to your DNA, thinking that it's only genetically gifted, and you're going to kill your bloodline off, like some next wanker or something. I don't even know. But anyways, like, do you want to just not even care about any of this? Do you want to just think, oh, I'll get through this, or listen to what the movies and the media tells you works? Oh, the weak nerd guy gets to go, and he just has to keep trying. Try that all you want. If you're a weak nerd guy and you've been trying this for ages, tell me how well it's worked, alright? And I don't mean like just, oh, girls replying to me, because I know you definitely think that's something. I mean properly, how have you even gotten with a girl? Not even dated, like an actual good looking girl. Like, what you think is good looking now, if you're a nerd, or how I was there, then what you think is good looking is not actually good looking. I'll be so real. Now, let's move on to the actual guide. Now, I'm going to talk about first the minimums. Alright, if you want an attractive woman, you can be fat, and you can go around with your attitude alone, and you can go pull some random girls off the street. It's not that hard. If you've got like money, you got the attitude, you've got friends, right? But I'll tell you about the minimums right now. Solo, if you're a solo, like going about life on your own. Right. This is just an example. If you've got mates, you know, whatever, high value mates, it makes it a lot easier. You can find them. But first thing is being in good shape. I don't mean like you need to look like Sam Sulek or whatever, you know. As long as you've got a minimum gym shape, like you've been going to the gym, you've got muscles, you're not fat, you're not overweight, and you're not like a skinny twig. Alright. If you're not any of that, and you've actually got a gym body, like even if it's not super advanced, let me tell you that's the minimum, and I'll explain more in depth about the difference between just having a gym body and other things compared to moving up with that gym body. Now the second thing is hygiene. You know, acne and stuff doesn't matter too much, but it's still gonna affect you. Like unless it's super bad, you know, you'll probably be fine. However, best thing, you know, change pillow every 3 days. Every 3 days. If you've got acne already, every 3 days. Like maybe every 2 if you really got it that bad, because it takes like 72 hours or something for the bacteria to go around the whole pillow. So every 72 hours, wash your face every single day, maybe multiple times a day. You can use creams, there's creams which you can, or you can just wash your face with water or soap. You wash your face with water like 5 times a day, you'll be good. Alright, don't pick them or nothing, don't be silly. Alright, stick to the basics. Wash your pillows, wash your covers, everything 3 times a day, change them, wash them, replace them, and just keep doing that. You know, not much more you can do, but that's all you need, to be honest. If you at least look, if you're actually making an effort, you're changing your like, I'll explain it more in depth, but if you're acting like, yeah, no, I don't care about this acne because it will be gone soon. I know it will be gone. Girls don't care. If you're acting like that, it's basically like it's not even there. Alright, it's like you don't even have acne. Poof, magically gone. If you're acting like, yeah, no, I don't have acne, it'll be gone soon, don't worry. It's gone. Now the next one is some level of masculinity. Alright, you know, feminine attracts masculine, masculine attracts feminine. If you're feminine, you're gonna attract masculine. Alright, you're gonna get the tomboys, you're gonna get like the, you know, majority, like the anime weebs or whatever, or some random person. Like, if you want to actually be the man of the relationship, you have to be masculine. That's just how it works. Alright, if you want to be the feminine, you know, you want to get like pegged by your wife or whatever, go ahead. You know, have her pay the bills, you can clean the dishes, cook the meals, you know, I don't care. This video is not for you, but at least like a minimum level of, or even an understanding, so you can act and behave more masculine, you know. And that comes into multiple things, which is that will make her trust you more. She'll feel safe around you. She'll trust your decisions. She'll trust your work, like what you say and stuff. And you'll be immovable, right? She wants to test that you're masculine. You're immovable. Like no matter what button she presses, what she pulls, what she says, what she does, it's not gonna affect you, you know. Because soon that's what a lot of catches people a lot off guard, is when you know a girl tests them, and then they're like, they don't know it's a test, and they fail the test. You know, they respond, they're like, oh no, I'll change this, I'll do this just to please you, even if they know it's the wrong decision. And then the woman, they see that and they're like, nah, because if she can change your decision to make you think something bad and do something bad, then the world can, and then she's not safe. She'll lose trust in you, she won't feel safe around you, she'll lose attraction in you. Trust is needed for attraction. If she doesn't trust you, she doesn't feel safe around you, you're not gonna have attraction. Now, with masculinity, or for masculinity, you need to have knowledge. Not, you know, not smart like school smart, know your maths, like nothing like that. I don't think that really matters. Alright, it's helpful, yeah. It increases your value being smarter in school or whatever. But I mean, having the knowledge of what to do, how to act, and more experience knowledge on women. You know, going around and getting experience. Now, as I mentioned before, I'm going to talk about the differences between some other stuff compared to getting more muscle, getting more lean, or getting, you know, better gym body. If you already have a gym body, you know, well, I'll tell you this thing. There's this thing, sexual market value. You know, that's your value. You have it. Say it's a number, right? And if you're fat, you know, it's really low, or whatever. But as soon as you get like a minimum gym body, like I said, you know, minimum. It looks like you've been going to gym. You've got shoulders that come out. You've got biceps. You can see your biceps. You can see your triceps. You can flex your muscles. You see them all, right? And as long as you've got that, your value will increase from here to here, all right? But the thing is, there's other stuff which will increase you to here. But say if you're here, and this is when you've got the muscle, alright, you've got the minimum gym body, it will only go up slowly the bigger you get compared to how it is. It'll go, your value will go up slower compared, because it's a minimum, alright? It's not like it adds value to you, it's a minimum, alright? So once you've got that basic gym body, you don't really do anything. Like, obviously you need to still be going to the gym, because if you're like looking the same, you know, because that's a masculine thing. Improving all the time is a masculine thing. Self-improvement, getting better, you know. If you're just staying the same, being lazy, just going to the gym only to like keep your body, yeah, she won't care. But if you want the higher value woman, you're gonna want to keep improving. Like, that's just how it works. But there's other things. So for example, if you already got the gym bod, this is if you bulk up another 5 pounds, that's the change in attraction. Alright, that's your value now. And then this, that's what it would go up if you do something else, like if you know how to talk properly or do something different. Because if everyone's going to the gym, getting a gym bod, that doesn't really matter. Everyone's got a gym bod nowadays. You go to the gym, there's 10 people your age in there after school, or even if you go in the morning, I go like 6 in the morning, it's like, I mean, I can't say this, but I know in some gyms, you go early in the morning, there's still going to be people your age, people young in the gym, which actually have like a good body, you know. But what one of these things would be, for example, to treat every date, not treat it like a first date, but every date to her has to feel like a first date. Like, this is, you've got minimum gym, you've got all the minimums, right? You gain 5 pounds of muscle, that's where it puts you. But if you treat every single date and make it feel like every day is the first day for her, that's your value, right? So, because not everyone does that. You see, everyone hears about the gym, you know, the money, everything like that. Obviously the money is very important. However, if you're younger, like I am, then it doesn't really matter, because they're like, oh well, he's in school, whatever. You know, still having the money, having a job can help, but you don't even need the job to get a woman. She doesn't care about that necessarily. Yeah, as long as you're working towards something. If you're working towards anything, if you're working at all, then she won't care. If you're not working, if you're being lazy, no chance. You'll have a low value woman, you know, some lazy woman. She'll take your kids in a divorce case, you know what I'm saying? Don't want that. And what I mean by making every date feel like a first date is, right, let me bring this a bit closer here. Alright. Is you want to take out to a nicer place, or have a nicer meal, or do something extra, you know, go somewhere else. You know, if you go to the same restaurant once and then you only had like a small meal, you know, you go this time, you bring a bouquet of flowers and a you have a nicer meal, you pay for it this time. You know, you split it 50-50 last time. Maybe not that, alright, maybe you don't have to stoop that low for the first date to make yourself look better in the second, but let's just say you paid in the first, you know, you give her flowers, you just have a bigger meal, and then you drop her off, whatever. Then the next one, you go to another restaurant. It doesn't even need to be a better restaurant, as long as it's not the same one. It's not repetitive. If you have a first date, oh it goes well, second date, oh it goes well, it feels nice, and then all of a sudden you just stop having dates, you just like start going around that house just chilling, like just doing nothing, just being there on your phone, just talking, like just being snuggled up, whatever. If you keep doing that, it's gonna keep, your value is gonna go up, but then it's always, and I mean it's always, if you're not putting it up, it's always gonna go down. And not because your value goes down, but whilst you're here going up and up and up, small increments, she's seeing this other guy who's going up like this, and when he goes up, that makes your value in her eyes go down. He goes up, you go down. So that's why every date, first date, boom, going round to a house, snuggling repetitively for the 10th time that month. It's like that. It's like tiny bit. You know, you first date, boom, and you make it repetitive. Do the same thing like 6 times. It gets bored. It's like that, and you'll end up going down. You're not gonna be there. It's like the shot clock in basketball. You know, there's a timer until you get too low. You don't want to get too low. I don't know how basketball works, but all I know is I have a clock. Now, the third thing I'm going to talk about is having boundaries, and you know, the tests you're going to have thrown at you. You know, it's basically guaranteed. I'll guarantee you, if you go out, get some experience, get a girl or whatever, you're going to have tests thrown at you, and that's basically a guarantee. But if you don't, I think I wouldn't be grateful that I wouldn't get tested. I think I'd be scared, because that's a value that a feminine woman has. She tests you to see if you're strong. You know, if you're the feminine in the relationship and she's the masculine, she doesn't have to test you. So if she's testing you, it's not a bad thing, it's a good thing. You know, it means she likes you, it means she wants to see if you're worthy of dating her, because she actually wants to be with you, right? Because wanting to be with someone isn't the same as actually being with someone. Like, this is one thing which I see a lot. She could like one guy more and be with this one guy. It's not because she doesn't love that guy or she loves the other guy more. She'll still go on a date and start talking to this other guy, just because either she's getting, even if she actually likes this guy, what they care about is more what's happening in the moment. That's what I'm saying. Every date needs to be a first date, because in the moment is what matters. If, say, you had a plan to go somewhere, you know, and you're like, oh, it's time to go, let's go to this place, and she's like, oh, I don't feel like going, and you're like, why don't you feel like going? And she's like, oh, I don't know, I just don't feel like going. The reason she doesn't feel like going is because, not because she doesn't want to go, it's because she doesn't want to go with you. Not because she doesn't want to go with you, and it's really complicated. This is why a lot of people don't understand it. It's because she doesn't have the trust in the relationship. Because she doesn't have the trust in a relationship, and that's when she start losing attraction, when she loses trust in the relationship. We already went over this. So a lot of the things which we'll be saying, she'll be doing, is about in the moment. You know, don't ask her, don't say, oh, but you said this, you promised this, or oh, you told me you wouldn't do this, or you told me you would do that. Don't, that's not gonna work. Alright, you've got to, and this will help you. Like, I'm just saying, I'm not saying all women think emotionally. I'm thinking, expect your woman to not think rationally like you do. Do not think, like, to men, being trustworthy, your promise is like one of your core values. If you're a guy that breaks your promise, you're down here. You don't get any respect from other guys or nothing. So, but for women, it's not really a thing. Like, that's not like a factor. So it doesn't really matter. What matters to them is what they're feeling, the emotions or whatever, what they're feeling in the moment. The moment is more important than the honesty or the truth. So you have to be able to tell stuff like this to know when the tests are. But what I'll tell you is about the tests. Alright, like I said before, a woman could like you more, but that's when she will start testing you. Is when she starts losing trust, and it will happen over time. Like it doesn't mean you have to do anything. It will just happen over time. Like, attraction is always going down. It's always going down because there's always people attracted in her. But if your value stays the same, and you're not doing anything to get her attraction up, then it's like it's always going down, right? Because your value could stay the same, her attraction can fluctuate. It'll go up, and then it'll go up. It'll reach a new minimum, but it will always fluctuate. If you do something good, if you do something bad, it'll go up. If you don't do anything at all, it will still go down because you're being boring. Is what it is. But I'll tell you about tests. If she's with you, she likes you more. Even if she likes you more, she could want to have your children. She would still, in the moment, because it's in the moment decision, right? Because she doesn't have trust in the relationship at that moment. Because maybe you've done something, or maybe you just haven't done anything in a while. She'll go start talking to this other guy. She'll go get with this other guy, even if she doesn't like him, or she doesn't like him at all. Maybe she likes you more, and the reason why is she wants to get a response out of you. If you weren't giving her enough attention, she'll go get attention from you by going out with another guy. You know, this is one of those tests, and you're going to take it on the chin. You're going to need to take any test, take it on the chin. You know, it's like boxing, but really strange boxing, because she's going to punch you, she's going to hit you, and it's going to hurt, and it can really hurt, right, if you're inexperienced, right? And you can't hit back. It's a strange boxing match, alright? You're gonna get hit, and you only win if you don't hit back. It's that simple. So, another example of a test would be if you know you don't want to do something, and she knows you don't. Imagine you're so you say you're banging her, right? This is from a book, right? But this is a good example. So you're banging her, and you're like, I know I don't need to bust. I've got something to do. I'm training, whatever. I can't bust. And then you're getting close. You're like, oh, I have to pull out. I have to pull out. Yeah. And then she's hearing you, and she's saying, oh, please don't, please. I'll hate you if you do. Please do. Right, begging you. All right. That's a test. You might not realize it. That's a test. And so when you actually do bust, even though you know you didn't have to, you didn't want to, and it was actually bad for you. Maybe if you're training for a fight, or you're just training in the gym, you're on monk mode or something, and you bust, even though just because she told you to, you failed the test. You know, instantly the attraction goes down. Instantly. You might not notice it. Maybe she'll act like she's happy or whatever. The attraction will go down, and then after a week or two, whatever, you know, you're not getting any attention anymore. That's just how it works. Or another test. This one more common with like more ruder people, but it's a test nonetheless. So I'm going to tell you so you have experience and you know kind of what to expect, the broad spectrum. Now, say if you're just talking and she calls you some name or something. She calls you like a, I don't know, just something. She calls you, you're like, don't call me that. You're like, don't call me that, don't say that to me. You know, the first test would probably just going to be her being rude to you. If you don't stand up to yourself, like, it's going to get lower. She's not going to like you. You have to stand up. That's the first step. That's the first step. Alright, not even the test. Because the true test is still to come. And you're always going to get tests. Sometimes they'll be harder. Sometimes they'll be easier. You know, they won't always get harder. A lot of the time they will if you're advancing. Maybe you've got kids now or whatever. But you say, don't call me that. I don't like it when you call me that. And she calls you that thing again. She says it again. You're like, oh, what are you going to do about it? Or why not? And then she says whatever. Then if you don't do anything, if you don't put the boundaries, that's what I was talking about, boundaries in place in a relationship. if she oversteps, a lot of the time that's a test. If she oversteps, like going out with that other guy, it's an overstep. If you know you don't have to bust, but she told you to anyway, she makes you, that's an overstep. So you have to have boundaries, and you need to know how to stick to the boundaries. Make sure she doesn't overstep. If she oversteps, you make her know she overstepped, and you're not going to have it, because that's what she wants. She wants you to have boundaries and not let anyone cross over, not let anyone overstep. Now the fourth thing, very important, you need to act differently to how you do with your boys. You know, with your boys, maybe you're having a laugh, you're the goofy guy, you're the class clown or whatever. It doesn't matter. I don't care who you are with your boys. Chances are you don't want to be the same person with your girl. You know, with your boys it's different. With your boys, you know, they've known you for ages. What if you do something dumb for one moment? They're not going to care, alright, because they've known you for ages, and they know you're this kind of guy. But as I said, to your girl, the only thing that matters is what's in the present. You might be an outstanding guy, but if you don't do that in that moment, if you're not that outstanding guy, if you do dumb stuff every now and then, like you do with your mates, that's gonna lower the attraction. If you like leave like just skid marks in the toilet, like you're crazy, like oh whoops, oh sorry, oh this is a bit goofy from me, sorry, you know, it's maybe with the boys at her house or something, at your house she sees this, like it lowers it down. If you're like being the goofy, like laughing at stuff, farting when you're together, like, and then laughing about it, it's like it lowers your value, you know, what you do with your boys. So don't act how you with your boys with her, don't act the same, right? Now I'm going to start more about actually attracting the woman, right? First things first, you need to actually know how to approach them, cold approach, how to go up to them, or how to approach them. First impressions, very important. First impression, you want to be at your peak, right? You always want to be ready. If you actually want to go out and get girls, you have to be ready. So go. It can be as simple as just go into an area where there's tons of people, just going up to everyone you find attractive, be like, yo, what's your snap? That simple. It can be that simple. And once you get experience, like I'm just telling you, just go do this, because even if you fail 100 times, if you're actually not brain dead and you learn from every time, you're like, oh well, maybe I won't say this, or maybe even if you think do the same thing twice and then it doesn't work, like maybe you try it again just in case that was an outlying case, right? Because a lot of the times you'll see this is you'll get different reactions depending on if they're attracted to you or not. It doesn't matter if they've got a man or anything. Like I've gone up to people like out in public and I've been like, oh, like what's your snap? And they're like, oh, I would give it to you, whatever, but I've got a man. And then, but you know, pursue, have a conversation, follow through, push through. Maybe that literally could have been a test. That literally could be a test. If she's like, oh no, I got a man, that could be a test. If you push through and just be like, no, I don't care about your man, I want you. You know, that's the thing you want. That could be a test. But you have to learn to tell. This is what I'm saying about experience and knowledge, knowing how to tell when someone doesn't want to talk to you because they got a man, or when someone's just saying they have a man and it's like kind of like a test because they don't want to. But then I just held a conversation. I was just talking about whatever, and she was like, oh, you look like some Spanish guy, like some actor. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm Spanish, innit? And you're like, oh yeah, you look like that guy from the TV shows. And I'm like, oh, what is that, a bad thing actually? And she was like, no, he's fit. And that guy was just standing behind her doing nothing. Alright, yeah, he's like 6 inches, 8 inches taller than me, stood behind her. I don't care. You know, that's one of the tests. Like his value probably, I mean, they probably, like his value might have probably gone down by that. Like your girl's, that's a test for him. Alright, your girl's talking to some other guy who's literally way shorter than you, and you're just letting it happen. You're just stood there watching some other guy try to pick up your girl, and you're not doing anything. That guy failed that test. I'm just gonna say it. So that's another thing about tests, very important. They're gonna come up anyway. You might not even be with your girl. She might test you when you're not even there. That's a crazy thing. So first thing about actually getting girls, cold approaching, going up, getting experience. You know, keep trying, keep trying, keep trying. As soon as you get a trim, get a nice trim, go out, go. Everyone you see, can I have your snap? Can I have your snap? Can I have your snap? Can I talk to you? Oh wow, you're pretty, can I have your number? Oh wow, you're pretty, can I have your Instagram? Oh, so we can keep in contact. What's your Instagram? What's your Snapchat? So I can talk to you, so we can meet up another time. You know, stuff like this, knowing what to say in what situation. After you get experience and do it enough times, you'll know. Like I said, if you do 100 times, fail 100 times, you'll know 100 ways which you don't do it. And then trial and failure, you'll get it right. And once you get it right that one time, it's like a light bulb, eureka moment or something. So just keep trying, keep working, trying to up your experience. The second thing about actually attraction, getting the attraction in the first place, is being yourself. You have to be confident in yourself. This is what I'm saying, when she pokes you and tests you and you're like, oh, why do you do this, or why do you have this, or why do you say this, or why do you think this, you know, those are tests at yourself, at your personality. And you need to be like, yeah, no, that's just because that's me. Yeah, I want to, you know, yeah, that's just me. You know, you have to test, you have to be confident in yourself. You need to have like a stupid level of confidence. Like, you know, when you're talking to like a toddler and they're like, oh, why is the grass green? Oh, because it's green. I mean, maybe that's a bad example, right? But something, say, why do you have that white shirt? Say, oh, because I like it. You know, I might, like, whenever she asks you a question, you might think it's serious. It might sound serious. If you start thinking of it like it's a toddler asking you some dumb question, you just answer it straight up, because I want it, because I want this shirt, you know. Or, yeah, I like that car. No, I like doing this. No, what's wrong with that? You know, flip the question on her, what's wrong with it? And she's like, oh, well, I just don't like it. Well, tough, I do. You know, being yourself, having the boundaries on this, don't change yourself for her. You know, that's a test. You know, she wants you to be the immovable object. She can trust you. She can cling on to you no matter what the situation. She wants to know the world won't move you at all. The world won't push you over. So don't let the world push you over. The third thing is acting like a man and acting like you've got an abundance of women. And maybe you don't even need to act, but first, acting like the man. Acting like you've got all the women. Acting like you don't care. If she rejects you, like, whatever. If you're like, she's like, well, I'm gonna stop talking to you if you don't do this, you're like, alright, stop talking to me, you know, I'll just go to Susan, or I'll go to whatever, I don't care. You know, if you start, don't actually have to say that, but if you act like you can just go, tomorrow you could go. If she does the wrong thing, tomorrow you're gone, you're with someone else. If you act like that, you'll get more experience, you'll get more attraction, right? You'll stop being such a beg, right? If you're a beg, that's the opposite of this. You're not acting like the guy. If you're like, oh no, please don't leave me, please don't leave me, and then you start crying over girls, you know, like, this stuff is not what's attractive. Now, once you do this enough, and you actually build up your repetition, your body, your days, you know, you've got like a roster, people call it, pretty sure, you know, that will innately increase your value, because there's competition, that's proof that you've got value. So that will bring up your value. If you've got lots of people and girls that are attracted in you, or you've got, like, you know, lots of girls that want you, that'll make you more attractive. Like, you can have two same people, same attractiveness. If one of them is just, you know, going about his life doing the exact same things, trying to get the exact same goals in the exact same way, but he doesn't have like a ton of girls already like that like him, then the second guy is gonna, in their eyes, be more attractive, because he's already got the other girls that like him, or whatever, you know, he's already got all of these girls that like him, and he's acting like, oh, I don't need you. No, I've got this other girl, yeah, she's as fit as you are, and he doesn't care. Now, that's just, in general, that works. It works at the start for attraction. Sometimes, if you're getting more serious in a relationship, you don't want to keep that there, but you still want to have boundaries. Even doesn't matter how serious you are in a relationship, you can't let her push you around. The final thing I'm going to say is knowing how to compliment, and I forgot to mention this, how to get back at tests, how to cancel out the tests. So right now I just told you what a test is. Best way to, either like block, like you block a test, is to like just say act stoic. This is the block. You block, take a punch, which doesn't affect you though. This is the block. Just be stoic. You're like, oh yeah, that's great. No, I can't do that. Yeah, be dry. Be like, oh please do this, please do this. No, I can't do that. I'm not going to do that. That's the first way. That's the block. All right. But the second way, which I think is superior, because this is what I said. It's like boxing. You block. She's still hitting something. Oh no, that hurt me. How could you block that hurt? If you're like weaving, boom, weaving. That's the second one, which is bouncing it back, flipping it on her with humour, being humorous, not like a jokester like with your mates, but having some sort of humour, laughing about it, smiling, be like, oh no, don't worry, oh don't worry about it, being mysterious. This is an extra tip. Alright, for the first section, this is the extra tip. Being mysterious. You always talking with her, always with her, always telling her everything about your day. She's not going to be attracted to you. If you have the two exact same guys, she asks one guy how her day is, and he's like, oh well, I woke up at this time, I had this for breakfast, I went to this work, and then in work this happened, and then for lunch at work I had this, and then I got home, did this, and no one messaging you, compared to the other guy. He's like, what did you do today? And he was like, oh, I just did some work, and just the usual. She's like, what's the usual? Don't worry about what's the usual. Then why are you asking so much questions? Don't let up too much of yourself. You have to be mysterious. You have to have an aura of mystery. That's what attraction is. She wants to be around you, and that will increase your attraction, because she's like, oh well, I want to actually talk with this guy more. I want to see what's going on. Why did he say that? I don't understand that. I want to know this guy more. I want to crack the shell, see what's inside. She'll keep testing you, like asking these questions, kind of testing you. She wants to see, and eventually it will turn into actual tests where she's just asking you this stuff because she knows you don't want to tell her, and you know you shouldn't tell her. She's gonna ask you that. Shit, man. Been here for so long. Anyways, back to the fifth point, final point, is compliments. Knowing how to give compliments. Compliment every day, so much better. A lot of guys don't do this because they think it's like cringy, but you have to approach it in the right way. They want to think, oh, if you go up to like your girl and you're like, oh you're so pretty, oh you're so pretty, oh I love you so much, like that's fanboy behavior. Don't do that. But if you're just talking and you're like, she's just like, oh I don't feel like that good today, and you're like, don't worry, you look beautiful, like something like that, something simple. All right, the simplest things can have massive effects. All right, just having a good compliment. Oh yeah, no, don't worry, you look pretty. Like, oh well, it's hard, like being with a girl so pretty, whatever. Just knowing this is what I'm saying that I said before. It's experience. Some stuff works with some types of girls which don't work with other types of girls. Some compliments work better on some types of girls than they do with other types of girls. It's just how it works. So you're gonna have to keep testing, going out, testing the compliments, seeing if they work. You're gonna have to handle the rejection, the dumping, whatever it is, if it doesn't work, because you can't be sad or pissed, because you learned something. You learned, all right, for this type of girl, or if this compliment doesn't work, all right, saying this doesn't work. Keep testing it. keep testing what works for you, and so just stay stoic, you know, respond to tests, know how to respond to tests properly, how to know where a test is, act with abundance, you know, minimum gym bod, always be improving everything. All right, try to be always improving your money, always improving your knowledge, always improving your body. But going to the gym isn't the only thing which is attractive. You need to have a minimum gym body. But like I said, the attraction for having 5 pounds extra muscle is very different to, for example, making every date feel like a first date. Doesn't matter if you get this 5 pound extra muscle, you can still work towards that, but it's something that takes time, you know. So if you want to fast track it, you can just talk like this or act like that and have a more sudden increase in attraction. But anyways, if you like my first full guide on a topic, then remember to like, subscribe, maybe leave a comment, tell me if you want any other guides next. And well, there's a free community, you know, we're talking there. Join it if you want, ask me questions, I'll respond to them in a video. I can just DM you on Discord, is what it is. Cheers.